The soft hum of the refrigerator fills the kitchen as I stand by the counter, staring blankly at my coffee cup. The morning sunlight filters through the window, casting a golden glow on the floor. But everything feels muted, distant. Claire is upstairs getting ready for work, the faint sound of water running in the bathroom. And yet the house feels eerily quiet. I take a sip of my coffee, but it tastes bitter, metallic, and I put the cup down, my thoughts drifting. Claire's been off. Lately. I can't explain it. She's been more distracted than usual, distant, her phone constantly in her hand, eyes flicking to the screen every time a notification buzzes. It's not like her. At least, it didn't used to be. I brush the thought away, shaking my head slightly. Claire's always been busy. Her job, her friends, her projects. We've been married long enough to understand each other's rhythms. There are weeks when we're both in our own worlds, living alongside each other, but always coming back together at the end of the day. So why does it feel different now? I lean back against the counter, running a hand through my hair. It's probably nothing, just a phase, right? Everyone goes through rough patches. Life gets busy, but the feeling in my gut won't go away. I glance at my phone sitting on the kitchen table, the screen dark and silent. A few years ago, Claire would text me during the day, just little things, quick notes to say she was thinking about me. But lately nothing. The bathroom door creaks open upstairs, and a few seconds later, I hear Claire's footsteps as she walks down the stairs, her heels clicking softly on the hardwood. She walks into the kitchen, already dressed, her hair tied up in a loose bun, her phone in her hand. "Morning," she says, offering me a quick smile, but it doesn't quite reach her eyes. "Morning," I reply, watching her as she heads straight for the coffee machine, not even glancing my way. "You've got a busy day?" "Yeah," she mutters, pouring herself a cup of coffee and taking a quick sip. Her eyes flick to her phone again, her thumb brushing across the screen as another notification buzzes. "Meetings all morning. I'll probably be late again tonight." I nod, but the nod in my stomach tightens. She's been late a lot recently. Meetings, conferences, dinners with clients. I've tried not to think too much about it. She's always been dedicated to her work, always ambitious. Now it feels like something more. "I could pick up dinner," I say, my voice casual as I watch her from across the kitchen. "You know, if you're going to be late again." "Sure," she says absently, already distracted by something on her phone. "I'll text you later." I wait, hoping she'll offer something more, some detail that might ease the tension in my chest. But she doesn't. She's already slipping out of the kitchen, her bag slung over her shoulder, and her attention still focused on the phone in her hand. "I'll see you tonight," I call after her, my voice trailing off as I hear the door click shut behind her. The silence settles over the house like a heavy blanket. I stand there for a moment, staring at the empty space where she just stood, the unease gnawing at me. I want to believe her. I want to trust her. But something feels wrong. I glance at the table where Claire's laptop sits, the screen dark, closed. She's been spending a lot of time on her phone lately, always checking it, always texting. I haven't asked her who she's been messaging. I've trusted her. But now I wonder if I've been blind. I walk over to the table, my heart pounding in my chest as I reach for her laptop. I hesitate for a moment, my hand hovering over the lid, my mind racing with the implications of what I'm about to do. I shouldn't be doing this. I know that I've never been the type to invade her privacy. We've always had trust, always had transparency, but the feeling in my gut won't go away. I flip open the laptop, the screen lighting up with the soft glow of the home screen. My hands are shaking slightly as I move the mouse clicking on her messaging app. My stomach turns as I scroll through the list of names. Co-workers, friends, the usual. But one conversation catches my eye. "Alec." I don't recognize the name. It's not someone she's mentioned before. I click on the conversation, my heart pounding in my chest as I scroll back through the messages. At first, it's just small talk, work-related, maybe, but as I scroll further back, the tone changes. The messages become more personal. more frequent, and side jokes, late night conversations. And then, one message stands out. Alec, last night was incredible. Can't wait to see you again. My blood runs cold. I stare at the screen, my heart hammering in my chest. The realization hitting me like a freight train. Claire's been seeing him, and it's not just work. It's personal. I slam the laptop shut, my hands trembling. My mind is spinning, the knot in my stomach tightening until I feel like I can't breathe. Who is he? How long has this been going on? And why didn't I see it? I sit down at the table, my hands buried in my hair, my breath coming in short, sharp gasps. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to process what I've just found. But one thing is clear. Something is very, very wrong. The air in the house feels heavier than usual. It's late afternoon now, and Claire still isn't home. She said she'd be out late again. Something about work meetings. The same story I've been hearing for the past few weeks. But after what I found on her laptop this morning, the messages from Alec, I can't shake the feeling that there's something she's not telling me. Something I don't want to believe. I glance at the clock on the wall, my chest tight as the minutes tick by. The house is quiet. Too quiet. I've been sitting here for hours, my mind spinning with everything I saw. The message, the intimacy of it, the implication. Last night was incredible. Can't wait to see you again. I try to breathe, but the knot in my stomach tightens with every passing second. I should confront her. I know I should, but the thought of it, of looking her in the eye and demanding to know what's really going on, makes my throat close up. What if I'm wrong? What if I've misread the whole thing? But deep down, I know I haven't. The messages were clear enough. Claire has been seeing him. It's not just some work thing. It's personal. It's intimate. It's real. And the worst part? I have no idea how long it's been going on. I stand up from the couch, pacing the length of the living room, my mind racing. I need to know. I can't sit here and let this eat me alive. I need more proof, more clarity. My gaze drifts to Claire's phone, which is lying on the kitchen counter, right where she left it this morning. My pulse quickens. If there's anything else, any other messages, photos, or clues, it'll be there. I walk over to the counter, my hands trembling as I reach for her phone. I shouldn't be doing this. I know I shouldn't, but I can't stop myself. The need to know, to understand, is too strong. The phone is locked, but I know the passcode. We've never kept secrets from each other. At least, I thought we hadn't. I swipe the screen and type in the code, my heart pounding in my chest as the home screen lights up. My hands are shaking as I open her messaging app, scrolling through the conversations. There it is again, Alec. His name sits at the top of her most recent conversations, like a glaring reminder of everything I don't want to believe. I open the conversation, my stomach churning as I scroll through the messages. Most of them are innocent enough. Small talk, jokes, things you'd expect between friends or colleagues. But as I scroll back further, the tone shifts. The messages become more intimate, more personal. Alec, I miss you. When can we meet again? Claire, soon. I'll let you know when Erin's working late. My heart stops. The words blur in front of me, but the meaning is painfully clear. She's been sneaking around with him, meeting him when I'm not home, when I'm working late, trusting her, oblivious to what's really going on. I keep scrolling, my hands trembling as I uncover more messages, each one worse than the last. Alec, last time was amazing. I've never felt this way before. Claire, me too. I can't wait for the next time. My vision blurs, my breath coming in shallow, ragged gasps. I feel like the floor is slipping out from under me, like the world I thought I knew is collapsing around me. I scroll back further, my heart racing, until I find a message that makes everything come crashing down. Alec, your bed is so much more comfortable than mine. Can't wait to be back. Our bed. They've been in our bed. In our house. The place we built together. The place I thought was sacred. Ours. Something no one else could touch. And now it's tainted. Used. I drop the phone on the counter, my chest heaving as I try to process what I've just seen. My mind is spinning, the weight of it all pressing down on me, suffocating me. Claire's affair isn't just some fling. It's not just happening behind my back. It's happening in our home, the place where I've lived, loved, trusted, the place where we built our life together. I feel the bile rising in my throat, my hands shaking with anger and heartbreak. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to make sense of this, but I need answers. I need to know how long this has been going on. I need to know who this Alec is, and I need to know why Claire has been lying to me for so long. I grab my keys from the counter, my mind racing. I can't just sit here, waiting for her to come home, pretending like everything's fine. I need to confront her. I need to see it in her eyes, hear it from her own mouth. I drive around for what feels like hours, aimless, my thoughts spiraling in every direction. I replay every moment of the past few months, every late night, every vague excuse, every time she brushed me off when I asked her about her day. It all makes sense now. All the pieces fall into place. She's been with him, after driving in circles. I pull over, my hands gripping the steering wheel so tightly my knuckles turn white. My breath comes in shallow bursts, the anger mixing with the heartbreak until I can't tell which one is stronger. I pick up my phone, scrolling through the contacts, my thumb hovering over Claire's name. I want to call her. I want to scream at her, demand answers, make her explain how she could do this to me, how she could bring another man into our home, into our bed. But I can't do it. Not yet. I need more. I drop the phone in my lap, staring out the windshield. My mind's still racing. I don't know how I'm going to face her when she comes home. I don't know what I'm going to say. But I know one thing for sure. Nothing will ever be the same again. The house feels suffocating. It's late now, far past the time Claire said she'd be home. But I'm still sitting in the dark, the faint glow of the TV casting shadows across the living room. My phone lies face down on the coffee table, but I can't bring myself to check it. I know there's nothing there. No messages. No updates from Claire. She hasn't called. She hasn't texted. And I haven't heard a word from her since this morning. My mind is spinning, replaying everything I found earlier. The messages from Alec. The way they talked about meeting in our bed, in our home. My chest feels tight, the betrayal gnawing at me like a slow poison, spreading through every inch of my body. How long has this been going on? How many times have they been here? While I was working, trusting her, believing she was being honest with me. I can't take it anymore. I stand up, pacing the length of the living room, my hands shaking as I try to breathe through the anger, through the hurt. I need to know. I can't sit here in the dark, waiting for her to come home like everything's normal. But what am I supposed to do? Confront her? What if I'm wrong? What if it's just a misunderstanding? The thought flickers through my mind. But I know better. I saw the messages. I know what they mean. And the worst part? I don't even know how long this has been going on. I don't know how deep her lies go. I walk to the window, pulling back the curtain just enough to see the driveway. Her car still isn't there. She's still out. My stomach churns, a sickening feeling rising in the back of my throat. What if she's with him right now? What if she's spending the night with him, lying to me, pretending she's at work or with friends? I grab my phone from the coffee table, my hands trembling as I scroll through my contacts. I hover over her name, my thumb shaking, but I can't bring myself to call her. I can't face her yet. I need to know more. I need to see it with my own eyes. Suddenly, a thought flashes in my mind. A place she might be. A place she's been going to frequently. Always with vague excuses. The gym. She's always telling me she's going there after work lately. Late nights when it doesn't make sense. But what if she's not going there to work out? Would I grab my keys and head out the door? My heart pounding as I drive through the darkened streets. The city lights blur past me. My mind racing with every possibility. Every scenario. The knot in my stomach tightens with each passing mile. The gym parking lot is almost empty when I arrive. I park the car and sit there for a moment, staring at the entrance. The lights flickering above the doorway. I can feel the anxiety building inside me, the fear gnawing at my gut. What if she's here? What if they're here? I don't know what I'll do if I see them together. Taking a deep breath, I step out of the car and walk toward the building, my heart hammering in my chest. The closer I get, the heavier the air feels, thick with anticipation and dread. I push open the door, my eyes scanning the room for any sign of Claire. It's quiet, almost too quiet for this time of night. The front desk is empty, and the few people still working out don't even glance my way. I head toward the back, toward the smaller, private rooms where people do yoga or personal training sessions. The hallway is dimly lit, the sound of weights clinking faintly in the distance. Every step feels like a mile, my heart racing, my palms sweaty, and then I hear it, a soft laugh, a voice I recognize too well. Claire's voice. My heart stops. I follow the sound, my pulse pounding in my ears, until I reach the last door at the end of the hallway. It's slightly ajar, just enough for me to peek inside. What I see makes my stomach drop. There she is, sitting on one of the benches, her phone in hand, smiling at him. A younger man, someone I've never seen before. He's sitting next to her, his hand resting casually on her thigh. Too close, too intimate. They're talking in hushed voices, laughing, completely oblivious to the fact that I'm standing just a few feet away. Watching them, my breath catches in my throat, my vision blurring with the weight of what I'm seeing. It's real. All of it. The messages, the excuses, the lies. It's all true. She's been with him, right under my nose. I don't know how long I stand there, frozen in place, watching them. It feels like time has stopped, like the world has collapsed around me and I'm stuck in this moment. Unable to move, unable to breathe. And then, as if sensing my presence, Claire looks up. Her smile fades instantly, her eyes widening with shock, with fear. She jumps up from the bench, her hands shaking as she takes a step back from Alec. "Aaron," she stammers, her voice trembling. "What? What are you doing here?" I don't answer. I can't. The words are stuck in my throat, my chest tight with anger, with heartbreak, with betrayal. All I can do is stare at her, at them. The two of them standing there like I've walked into some alternate reality. Alec looks between us, his expression confused, but I can't see the realization dawning on his face. He knows who I am. He knows what this is. I take a step forward, my fists clenched at my sides, my voice shaking with barely suppressed rage. "How long?" I demand, my voice low, dangerous. "How long has this been going on?" "Claire?" She opens her mouth, but no sound comes out. She looks at Alec, then back at me, her eyes wide with panic, with guilt. "Aaron." "How long?" I snap, my voice rising. I feel the anger boiling over now, too strong to contain. I take another step forward, my hands trembling with the force of it. "How long have you been lying to me?" She hesitates, her eyes welling with tears, but I can see it in her face, in the way she can't meet my eyes. She doesn't have to say it. I already know the answer. "A few months," she whispers, her voice barely audible. It just happened." My stomach turns, the weight of her words hitting me like a ton of bricks. A few months. She's been seeing him for months, and all this time, I've been living in the dark, completely oblivious, trusting her, believing in her. I turn to Alec, my jaw clenched, my chest heaving with the force of my anger. He looks young, too young, younger than I expected. I feel a wave of humiliation wash over me, the reality of the situation sinking in even deeper. She's been with him, a younger man, while I've been sitting at home blind to it all. I shake my head, my hands trembling in our house. I say quietly, my voice barely above a whisper in our bed. Claire covers her face with her hands, her body shaking with sobs, but I can't feel any sympathy. Not anymore. The betrayal is too deep, too raw. I can't look at her, at him. I can't be here anymore. Without another word, I turn and walk out of the gym, my mind spinning, my heart shattered into a million pieces. The drive home feels like a blur, my mind spinning with everything I've just seen. Claire and Alec, sitting there, laughing like they haven't ripped my life apart. Like they haven't destroyed everything we built together. The anger is pulsing through me, hot and uncontrollable. But underneath it all, there's a deep, gnawing sense of loss. Everything I thought I knew, everything I believed about our marriage, about Claire, was a lie. I feel sick. My hands gripping the steering wheel so tightly my knuckles turn white. By the time I pull into the driveway, my heart is pounding in my chest, the adrenaline surging through my veins. I sit in the car for a moment, staring at the house, the place that once felt like a safe haven, a symbol of everything Claire and I shared. Now it feels like a shell, empty, broken, just like me. I slam the car door shut and storm into the house, my mind consumed by a single thought. Answers. Answers. I need answers. I need to know how long she's been lying to me, how long she's been sneaking around with him, this younger guy who doesn't even seem to realize what he's done. I'm pacing the living room when I hear the front door open. Claire steps inside, her face pale, her eyes wide with fear. She knows why I'm here. She knows what's coming. Aaron, she starts. But I cut her off, my voice shaking with rage. How long? I demand, my fists clenched at my sides, the anger bubbling over. How long have you been lying to me, Claire? She flinches at the harshness in my voice, her eyes filling with tears. I didn't mean for it to happen, she whispers, her voice breaking. It wasn't supposed to be like this. Wasn't supposed to be like this. I spit, my chest heaving as I take a step toward her. You've been seeing him for months, Claire, and you've been bringing him here, into our house, into our bed. She covers her face with her hands, her body shaking with sobs. But I don't stop. I can't. The anger and the heartbreak are too much, too overwhelming to contain. Why? I shout, my voice cracking with the weight of everything I'm feeling. Why him? Why did you do this? Claire pulls her hands away from her face, tears streaming down her cheeks, her voice trembling as she tries to speak. I don't know, she sobs. I don't know what I was thinking. It just happened. You don't know? I snap, my voice rising again. That's your excuse? You don't know? She shakes her head, her eyes pleading with me. But I can't look at her. I can't look at the woman who's been lying to me, betraying me, for months. The woman who I thought I knew, who I thought I loved. I didn't mean for it to go this far. She whispers, her voice barely audible. It was a mistake. I was confused. I laugh bitterly, the sound harsh and hollow. A mistake? You've been sleeping with him for months, Claire. You've been lying to me, sneaking around behind my back, bringing him into our house. And now you want to call it a mistake. She sobs harder, her body trembling with the weight of her guilt. But I feel nothing. No sympathy. No love. Just a hollow, aching emptiness. I was lonely. She cries, her voice breaking. You were always working. You were always busy. And I just needed someone. Her words hit me like a punch to the gut. Lonely. That's what she's calling it. That's her justification for everything she's done. I was working to give us a life. I snap, my voice shaking with fury. I was working to make sure we were okay, that we had everything we needed. And you? You were just lonely? So you decided to throw everything away? For him? I can see the guilt written all over her face, the regret. But it's too late. It doesn't matter now. She's already destroyed us. Who is he? I demand, my voice hard, cold. Who is this Alec? Claire wipes at her eyes, sniffling, her voice trembling as she answers. He's just someone I met through work. He's younger, yes, but I didn't mean for it to turn into this. I didn't. You didn't mean for it to turn into this? I echo, my voice thick with disbelief. Claire, 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 you brought him into our home, into our bed. This wasn't some one-time thing. This was a choice you made over and over again. She doesn't respond. She can't. The silence between us is deafening, the weight of her betrayal hanging in the air like a noose around both our necks. I take a step back, my hands shaking as I run them through my hair, trying to breathe, trying to process everything. But I can't. I can't make sense of any of this. You destroyed us. I whisper, my voice breaking. You destroyed everything we had. Claire's sobs grow louder, her body shaking with the force of her guilt. But I can't bring myself to comfort her. I can't bring myself to care. There's no coming back from this. Claire, I say quietly, my voice steady despite the storm raging inside me. You lied to me. You brought him into our life, into our home, and you lied, over and over again. I'm sorry, she whispers, her voice barely audible. I'm so sorry, Aaron. Sorry. I laugh bitterly, shaking my head. You're sorry? You don't get to be sorry, Claire. You don't get to apologize for this. This isn't something you can just fix with an apology. She looks up at me, her eyes red and swollen, her face streaked with tears. Please, she begs, her voice breaking. Please, Aaron, we can work through this. We can fix this. I love you. I freeze, her words hitting me like a sledgehammer to the chest. Love. She says she loves me. But how can that be true? How can she say she loves me when she's been lying to me for months? When she's been betraying me in the most intimate way possible? You don't do this to someone you love. I say quietly, my voice trembling with the weight of the truth. You don't lie to them. You don't betray them. You don't destroy their life. The silence stretches between us, thick and suffocating. Claire looks at me, her eyes filled with desperation, with regret. But I know it's over. There's nothing left to say, nothing left to fix. I take a deep breath, my chest aching with the weight of what I'm about to do. I can't stay with you, Claire, I say, my voice breaking. I can't. I can't be with someone who could do this. Her eyes widen, panic flashing across her face. No, she cries, shaking her head. Please, Aaron, please don't leave. We can fix this. I know we can. But I know better. I know that some things can't be fixed. Some things are too broken, too damaged to ever be whole again. I'm leaving, I say quietly, my voice steady despite the pain tearing me apart inside. It's over, Claire. Her sobs echo through the room as I turn and walk away, my heart shattering with every step. I grab my keys from the counter, my hands trembling, my breath coming in short, shallow bursts. I don't look back. I can't. As I step outside, the cool night air hits me like a wave. But it doesn't bring any relief. It doesn't dull the pain. I walk to the car, my mind spinning, my chest aching with the weight of everything that's just happened. It's over. It's all over. The night air feels cold against my skin as I sit in the car, staring at the empty road ahead of me. I've been sitting here for what feels like hours, but I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. I don't know. I don't even know what to feel anymore. The house is behind me, dark and distant, like it's already a part of a life I no longer belong to. Claire is still inside, probably crying. But I can't think about her right now. I can't think about anything except the crushing weight of everything that's just happened. It's over. The life I thought I had, the marriage I thought I knew, is over. I grip the steering wheel, my knuckles white, my hands trembling with the residual anger and heartbreak. My mind keeps replaying the confrontation over and over again. Her tears, her apologies, her desperate pleas for me to stay. But it doesn't matter. Nothing she said changes the fact that she lied to me. Nothing she said changes the fact that she brought another man into our home, into our life. She destroyed us. And now I'm left standing in the wreckage, trying to figure out how to move on. How do you move on from something like this? How do you rebuild your life when everything you thought you knew has been a lie? I glance at my phone sitting on the passenger seat. There's a message from her. A single text that came through right after I left the house. I haven't opened it yet, but I know what it says. I know she's apologizing, begging me to come back, telling me we can fix this. But we can't. I know that now. I pick up the phone, my hand trembling as I unlock it, the message lighting up the screen. Claire, I'm so sorry. Please come back. We can fix this. I love you. I stare at the words, my chest tightening. the pain of it all settling deep in my bones. I love you. She said it tonight. And now she's saying it again. But how can that be true? How can she love me when she's been lying to me for months? When she's been sneaking around behind my back? I close my eyes, leaning my head back against the seat, my breath coming in slow. Shaky gasps. The tears I've been holding back all night finally start to spill over. Hot and bitter. I wipe at my eyes, but it doesn't stop the flood of emotions crashing over me. Anger, hurt, betrayal. I've spent years building a life with Claire, believing in us, trusting her. I thought we had something real, something that could survive anything, but I was wrong. I was so wrong. How could I not have seen it? How could I have been so blind to what was happening right in front of me? The memories flashed through my mind. Every late night she came home late. Every vague excuse. Every time she looked at her phone and smiled at something I couldn't see. I should have known. I should have questioned it. But I didn't. I trusted her. And she took that trust and shattered it. I feel a fresh wave of anger surge through me. But it's hollow now. I'm too exhausted to feel it fully. The anger. The heartbreak. The betrayal. It's all too much. I glance at the house again. The place where we built our life together. And I realize that it's not home anymore. It's just a place. A place filled with memories that have been tainted by lies. By deception. I can't stay here. I can't go back. I take a deep breath, my chest aching with the weight of the decision I've already made. I'm leaving. There's nothing left for me here. Not anymore. I pick up my phone again. My hands steady now as I type out a reply. Aaron, it's over. Claire, I can't come back. I hit send before I can second-guess myself. Before I can let the flood of emotions pull me back into the storm. It's done. The marriage we had. The life we built. It's all over now. I drop the phone on the passenger seat and start the car. The engine rumbling to life beneath me. But I don't drive yet. I just sit there, staring at the road ahead, wondering where I'm supposed to go from here. It's strange. The way your life can fall apart in an instant. One moment, you think you have everything figured out. You think you know the person you're with, the person you've built a life with. And then, in the blink of an eye, it all comes crashing down. I don't know how I'm supposed to move on from this. I don't know how to rebuild my life, how to find a way forward when everything feels so broken. But I have to. I don't have a choice. I glance at the rear-view mirror, the house still in the distance, fading into the background of my life. I take one last look, my heart heavy, and then I put the car in drive and pull away from the curb. The road stretches out in front of me, long and empty, but I don't feel any sense of relief. There's no sense of freedom, no sense of hope for the future, just the lingering ache of everything I've lost. I drive in silence, the tears still burning in my eyes, but I don't wipe them away this time. I let them fall. I let the grief and the pain wash over me, because I know that this is just the beginning. This is the part where I have to rebuild my life from the ashes of everything Claire destroyed. This